The SuperBox Supreme promises next level streaming performance. Well, today we're going to find out if it's a Supreme machine or just Supreme hype. All that and more on today's episode of Life Redesigned. Hello everyone and welcome back to Life Redesigned. And yes, you are in Bob's Tech Corner, which means that, well, Carrie's taking the day off and I'm taking a break from RV life and sharing more tech with you. And I want to thank everyone who's been enjoying these streaming box reviews, because without you, these videos would not be possible. And today I am back with the SuperBox Supreme. This has got to be good, right? It is Supreme. It doesn't get much better than that. Before we get started, I'm going to say a couple of things. One, there's things that I can say about this box on YouTube, and there's things that I can't due to the terms of service. If there's questions that you have, leave them in the video comment section below, and I'll be happy to answer what I can. The things I can't answer, well, you're going to have to do a Google search because, well, it's not worth getting my channel shut down. But this is the SuperBox Supreme. This is, well, brand new in the box, so we're going to open that up right now. We're going to tear into this bad boy and do everything that we normally do here on this channel. First things I'm noticing right off the bat from the box itself is it's running Android 12, so we know that's a stable environment. It is showing that it does full HD 1080p 8K resolution, and it also is saying that it is got bonus content, which we always like to see. Voice activated remote, as always with these super boxes, as well as your basic stuff, and Ethernet port, Wi-Fi, and it has your RAM. It supports up to 8K resolution, so we've got lots of resolution to cover here. Over-the-air updates, which is a must if it's on this channel, as well as the H.265. Now let's tear right into this box. First thing I'm going to say is that with every super box, they are extremely well packaged. The boxing alone puts a lot of companies to shame. Heavy box means it's going to arrive to you in fine condition. So let's see what we got in the box. We have the SuperBox Supreme, and this one here looks to be, well, it is a silver case. I kind of like that. And yep, that's a aluminum case or loose aluminum cover. And looks just like the other ones, except it has that fancy silver glow. On the back side, you do have all the ports that we mentioned before, that HDMI, that Ethernet, the optical port, as well as an IR and AV, and it also has a DC barrel plug. So we're not seeing the USB-C power cord on this one yet, but not a deal breaker. It's just something I like to see. But I gotta say, this is a pretty catchy case. It has two USB ports on the side as well as an SD card slot. So standard fare. Again, nice heft on these super boxes. Let's see what's inside the box as we dig a little deeper. We have our power cord as promised. This is just a standard barrel port on that, nothing too fancy. Comes with an HDMI cable, and my feelings on this are I'm always happy to see them, but I wouldn't use it as my primary cable. This is to get you up and running so you can go to the store and get yourself a good quality cable, as well as the standard SuperBox remote. Anybody who's caught any of our videos on the SuperBox series knows that I love these remotes. I'm even more miffed that there's no batteries in there. But that does take two AAAs, and as I always say, it's not a deal breaker, but at this price point, I would have liked to see a couple of batteries. Not too bad for my only gripe. Now, if you're interested, throughout this video, I will leave a link in the video description. You can save a few bucks by purchasing through that link. Also included in the box is a user guide. This is going to have basic info, and I say basic because, well, it's only about 3 pages front and back, and it's just going to have just basic operations and setup. Now, we're going to put all of this together. We're going to hook it up to the TV. We're going to walk you through a basic setup. We're going to show you what we can, and we'll come back after, well, some viewing of mine, and we'll have some final thoughts on the SuperBox Supreme. All right, everyone, we are at the SuperBox Supreme. We're going to walk you through a basic setup. As always, we're just going to see the disclaimer notice. We're going to hit agree, and we're going to look for a open Wi-Fi. And for us, we keep ours in an isolated network. And once you enter your password in, you can just hit connect. Connecting, you can hit next. Fairly quick connection there. And for this, you're going to set your screen scale. Usually 100% is about where you want to be. And then boom, that's it. You're right into the home screen of the SuperBox Supreme. All right, here we go. You have across the top row, you have live TV, video on demand, playback, and browser. And then down here, you have your app store and apps. But we need to get this up and running because if you scroll into a live TV, you can see there's nothing set up. That means because, well, SuperBox, you're going to have to put in a little bit of work. So we're going to go in here and we're going to go into the App Store. We're going to find the Android App Store logo here. And basically, you're just going to confirm that you want to install it. And this is going to have all the apps that make this box worth the money that you're paying for it. I do also want to point out that you do have access to the Google Play Store should you need it for something else. But really, everything that is going to be part of this box is going to be here in the App Store. This is going to give you a disclaimer as to what it is and what it isn't. And after about 10 seconds, that will go away. And it's going to load up your list of available applications. And looks like we have quite a bit of options with the Supreme model. You're going to have your standard fare Blue Video on Demand. You're also going to have Blue TV, as well as Playback, Backup TV, Epic News, MCTV, which is a nice little app as well. We're seeing that come across a lot of models in the market today. You have your International Hub, which is going to be for, well, all of our international viewers. It also has Elite VPN. We're going to scroll down here. We're going to see Platinum Plus and basically Supreme 24/7. A lot of extra stuff here with this, as well as SmartTube. Seeing a lot of additional apps that we don't see with the standard fare of SuperBox. Look at the addition of Boxbuster, which is another app that we see across a lot of the VC box formats. Purple Church is another one. That's, you adult people out there. And let's see what we have down here. Supreme News, Sonic Streams, Dream, Captain Streams. Wow, we have quite a bit of offerings that we don't see on a lot of these boxes. Supreme Video on Demand. And then you're going to have your standard fare stuff. You're going to have Fast, which is Internet Speed Test, YouTube, Netflix, why would you need Netflix on these boxes? But, hey, maybe you do. Disney Plus, all this stuff, Cyberflix, another ExpressVPN, and you're going to have CCleaner, you're going to have Puffin TV, a lot of stuff that probably most people won't use, but it is nice to see a lot of this stuff having access to it. Proton VPN as well. So as you can see, once you've clicked something to install, you're going to see these green check marks. That's basically how you know you have the apps. We're also going to go ahead and install Supreme apps as well. And then once these are all downloaded, we'll go in and we'll start setup. Clicking on that Supreme app is going to show you all the apps that are part of the Supreme boxes. Quite a bit of options here. Supreme Sports. There's a lot to dive into here. For the sake of time, we'll just stick to standard fare stuff. And then we're going to go back in here. And I love these here. These are just, well, this way to add direct access to other things. So you want to put a calculator there, you can do that. And you can go back and boom, it's there. This being the Supreme version of the SuperBox. Let's go back in that App Store. And we're going to see a section called Supreme. And this is going to have Supreme apps is what you're going to highlight. You're going to go in. These are all the apps that you don't get with the regular versions, the Pros, the Max, and the like of the SuperBox. This is going to have, well, a whole bunch of extra stuff. And these are always great to have. Not only will you possibly find a favorite for yourself, but you will have a backup should your main apps go down, because the servers do go down for maintenance from time to time and stuff of that nature. And it's always nice to have an alternate source. But this really does have quite a bit of extra stuff. These Supreme apps alone are worth the price to have all this kind of backup as we've been playing around with these here. You have Cobra, HD Flicks. There's some really nice things in here that definitely make this, well, what they're calling it, a Supreme version. So we're going to step away from the box. We're going to go back to the main menu here and just cover a couple of more things you do have. All right, let's talk about what's on the bottom of this here. You have your voice remote access. You have a way to clean up your cache. You have an internet speed checker, a file manager, and then you have quick access to your settings, which is going to cover your basic stuff, this screen resolution, stuff of that nature. All in all, not too bad. Everything here does feel solid. We'll come back with our final thoughts in just a second. All right, through the power of editing, I am back in just seconds for you. But meanwhile, behind the scenes, I've been playing around with all the menus, all the movies, all the TV shows, just catching up and seeing what this box has to offer. And I got to say, they call this the Supreme for a reason. The apps alone are, wow, are they plentiful, but they work and they're quality apps. That's an amazing thing. A lot of these apps I've seen on other versions of, say, SuperBox and VCBox. The Blockbuster app was a great find to see on this, as well as MCTV and quite a few of the others that are only on the SuperBox platform in the Supreme model. Highly recommend checking this out. If you want the top of the top, this is, well, it's Supreme. And that's what a big thing of this is I can't stress enough, is that sometimes these apps will go down for maintenance. So having backups to make sure you're catching that game, to make sure you're catching that movie, or whatever you're doing for date night, it's always good to have multiple sources to stream from. All in all, very impressed. And I got to say, my normal disclaimer with this is that if you're going to buy a SuperBox, make sure you're buying it from a authorized seller, such as the one that we show you in the link in the video description. Not only will you save some money using that link, but you also know that you're buying from a reputable seller. These boxes are sold all over the place, Walmart, Amazon, eBay, but most of the time, 9 times out of 10, you have a problem. There's nobody there to help you, because once they sell it to you, they're gone. These people here sell these boxes and they stand behind them and they're there to help you. Very well done, very well thought out. No complaints for the SuperBox Supreme. And if you're looking for, well, the top of the line in SuperBox entertainment, check them out. Link in the video description. Until next time, I am Bob. This is Life Redesigned, covering SuperBox Supreme.